Hey guys, Tawna Eubanks here. So today is a bit of a different video than you are used to seeing on my YouTube channel. I just need to get this out. I need to update everybody and what's been going on. So first, before I even start this video, I have to and want to thank every single person who has been here this entire time, either virtually, through my followers, through Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, or my family and my friends and my husband, Greg. I cannot thank you guys enough for emotionally being here for me and supporting me through all these ups and downs, sending me your messages, sending me cards, sending me little gifts, coming and staying with me, taking care of me. It has been a crazy journey, and I know it's not over, but I couldn't have even made it to where I'm at this point without your guys' help. So I just want to say I love you so much, and nothing that any of you have done for me, even just a simple little comment on my Instagram picture saying that I'm thinking about you, has not gone unseen, and it means so much to me, and it's helped me and carried me through. So I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. So the purpose of this video is to update everybody. If you've been following me, then you know, and if you don't know, then I've been sick for a while, and I haven't really had any answers, and I'm coming to some conclusions now, so it's time for me to update you guys and fill you in on what's been going on in my life and with my health. So just to go ahead and throw this out there and make it known, I have decided to remove my breast implants, and I'm going to explain the reason why I have decided on that. Back in February, if you've been following me, then you know that I, out of the nowhere, got sick, and it escalated quickly and got worse and turned into a snowball effect of symptoms. After I've had lots of downtime, no training or anything for the past 2 months to be exact, I know that everything started about a year ago. I have been dealing with some acne and skin issues for well over a year now. Out of nowhere popped up what I thought was just adult acne. Then I had started experiencing lots of issues with getting my hair done, having chemical reactions to hair products. I had an allergic reaction to my purple shampoo, and just every time I would get my hair done, I would have a breakout of these bumps and itchy red bumps all over that were unexplained and just out of nowhere. I've been getting my hair done blonde for like the past 15 years of my life, and just decided that it didn't like it anymore, I guess. My body did. So after a confusing year of all of that and those symptoms happening, if you had been following me, then you also know that during the holidays, I had experienced some pretty excruciating breast pain, so much that I decided that it was time to get a mammogram. And I shared that with you girls because I think it's important to share that awareness, because I know if you're anything like me, you're horrified of getting a mammogram. You don't want to go and get your boobs smushed in between 2 pieces of glass, much less if you have implants and they could rupture. So I shared that with you girls, that I was thinking about going and getting that done. I didn't follow through with that because the new insurance that I had was not covered with my OBGYN. So I decided, okay, well, I'm not gonna pay $300 out of pocket, so I'm gonna wait and find somebody who carries my insurance. That was supposed to be the day after my birthday that I had that mammogram. or the day before my birthday. So I said, okay, after my birthday and my shenanigans is done, I will make that appointment then. I really didn't talk about this on social media, but at my birthday, my dirty 30, which is also why I thought all of these other symptoms and issues that were happening were just happening because I was old. I got really sick, really sick on my birthday. And at first I just thought, man, partying is not like it used to be. But I had my best friend with me. I had all of my friends with me, but my best friend stayed with me and Greg. The ride home and being home was a very vicious sick. It was unlike any hangover or drunk I had ever been. It was borderline, I thought that I had alcohol poisoning. So that was another thing looking back now that has been very eye-opening. Then now starting to where the biggest issues came was the beginning of February, and I started having small symptoms which started with an eye twitch, went into having head pressure, blurred vision. I couldn't really even look at bright lights. I had light sensitivity. I thought that I was gonna need chiropractic work done. I thought, okay, it's been a while since I've been adjusted. I'm an athlete. I need to get chiropractic work done. So I was visiting my coach, Brett Contreras. We were in San Diego for 3 days. And the entire time I was there, I slept for 12 hours and I was needing to take naps in between. Again, I was like, okay, I just turned 30. I'm old. I can't travel anymore. Maybe this is normal. Greg was a bit concerned. He knows I like my sleep, but this was a very different, I have to go to sleep right now or we're not gonna do anything today. Then when I got home, I decided, okay, I need to get adjusted. I need to get fixed up, something's not right. The eye twitching was still there, and it was only on my left side. And so I went and got adjusted. I instantly felt better. Long story short, things started to go downhill from there. We thought at first, because I had gotten chiropractic work done, that I had a pinched nerve. But that pinched nerve turned into a complete numbness in the left arm, to then move down into my leg, to sharp shooting pains from my skull to my fingertips and my toes throughout my entire body. My body started to shake. I started to lose feeling in not only my left side, but then my right side. So it had moved. One night I lost feeling in my face. It was just an escalade of symptoms. I have the symptoms here laid out, which is a lot, but I had brain fog completely. I couldn't even focus on what was happening. I felt like somebody was, I don't even know, had a bag over my head. I was confused talking to Greg. Blurred vision, pressure behind my head. My eyes were red and puffy and have been itching. I've had the neck and muscle pain into the lower back pain, trap pain. Anywhere in my back started hurting. Entire complete body numbness, including my face. My ears started to ring constant all day, not just a little ring here or there. It was continuous. To then I had sensitivity to noise, even my phone ringing or talking on the phone to family. I couldn't even bear it. It was piercing. The worst part was this buzzing and vibrating feeling all over my body. It was mainly in my skull back here and in my ears. It would kind of trickle down into my ears. Complete muscle weakness. I would wake up and not even be able to feel my muscles. Bizarre sinus effects of what felt like tingling in my nose, and then it would go away, and constant sneezing. My muscles everywhere from my shoulders down to my feet were twitching uncontrollably. Neck and back and spine pain. My wrists were hurting, my joints locked up. I couldn't even clench my hands. Bumps and pimples that I had experienced before came up out of nowhere. I have bumps all over my face, and then this goes down in my neck, my chest, and my shoulders. My skin felt like it's crawling. My scalp got flaky, and especially on only like one side. It was like just dry, itchy, flaky skin, but only on the left side. I had the zaps and the stings, which was like the worst because it's just sharp, piercing pain all over in the skull, and especially. My eyes were sticky. And then later, all these other symptoms started to happen, which were the night sweats. My hair was falling out, in which my hair has been falling out for a while, but I thought that it was because of the chemical reactions I was having to my hair. But as you can tell, I have not had my hair done since September, and I've had to chop my hair off because it's just continuing to break and fall out. My hair is non-existent. I mean, it's gone. And then after all of that kind of subsided, the other symptoms that started to happen was the breast nerve pain started to come back full force. I started to have stomach pains later, and it was just this vicious cycle of all of that escalating up to then it started to kind of slowly subside. And now, thank God, I'm, past all of that. I still have symptoms. I still don't feel good, but I'm out of the worst peak of all of it. So listening to this, it probably sounds like I'm absolutely crazy because it's a whirlwind and a laundry list of symptoms. And I don't even know that I read off all of them because there are so many. I've kept a journal. That's why I have my phone with me, and I'm just reading everything off to you guys, because ever since this started to happen, I said, I'm just gonna log everything. So I'm very thankful that I am out of the worst of those symptoms and that I'm feeling better. But it was also an indication that something was very, very wrong. So during all of that process, I immediately went to the doctor and started to check off what this could be or could not be. My primary care doctor instantly pulled blood work for me. Everything came back completely normal. So any kind of normal blood work that you get to just go in and just check your white blood count, your red blood count, platelets, thyroid, everything, just basic blood work came back perfect. So I did a X-ray of my head, my neck, and my spine, and that all came back clear. So then I did a MRI of my brain and my neck, and that came back clear. And even after those coming back clear and my primary care doctor telling me that I did not need to get an MRI of my spine, I refused and forced myself to get a spine MRI, in which came back normal as well. Then after that, it was time to see a neurologist. So I went to a neurologist, and she did all of her tests on me and came back completely normal. In there, I felt almost kind of stupid talking to her because she was looking at me what I felt like was crazy, which is kind of good because you don't want anything to be wrong neurologically. And so the fact that she was in there and listening to all of my symptoms, and before I could even finish all of them, she was like, no, this is not neurological. You're way too sporadic. They're too chaotic and coming out of nowhere, and something's different every time. This is, your brain and your neck and your spine MRI came back clear. That I want you to get checked for something else. This is not neurological. So that was good and a relief, but also not at the same time, because you're like, what the freak is wrong with me? So she suggested that I test for autoimmune and diabetes, and she wanted to check my B6 vitamin levels. So we tested for all three of those, and I came back completely normal. So at this point, I'm just like, why? I'm completely broken right now. I'm absolutely terrified, and I don't know what's gonna happen.
I keep going up between if this is MS or if my breast implants have given me an autoimmune disease. I'm trying so hard to be strong, but then when you feel these symptoms, you just get terrified all over again. It's hard to not assume the worst.
What in the world is this? Why? I mean, like an autoimmune disease, diabetes, all my vitamins, thyroid, regular blood work, MRIs, X-rays, like what else is there? So I started to look into more what I felt in my heart at the beginning was, but I didn't want to just automatically assume. I wanted to make sure first that I was healthy. So I've looked a lot more into breast implant illness. So 9 years ago, at the age of 21, I got smooth saline Mentor under the muscle breast implants. Even back just in January, if you would have asked me about BII, breast implant illness, I would have probably told you that I thought that it was more or less just a fad, in which I had actually just told two of my very best friends, who also both have implants, that I thought it was a fad. One of my really good friends has been having issues for a long time, and she's thought that her breasts were causing the problems, and I kept telling her, girl, no, we gonna get you fixed. You just got some health issues we need to figure out. You're all good. So after her and I were talking and I had some symptoms, but not much, my other friend who came and stayed with me, who has implants as well, I asked her specifically, hey dude, what you feel on this breast implant illness stuff? Like, I don't know. I think it could happen, but all the, like, I don't know. You think this is a trend? And she straight up said, no, I believe this 100%. So in the back of my head, I'm like, damn, okay. Two of my best friends who have breast implants, fully convinced. One of them who has issues and thinks that it is. And then one of them who has no issues at all, but definitely believes that it is. So I was like really taken back by that, because these are my closest friends that I talk to about everything. And yet we all have implants and I'm the only one that was like thinking, you know, this is probably a fad. So that kind of set me back and just kind of, okay, let me look at this in a different way. Little did I know, a couple weeks later, I'd be experiencing some of these very exact symptoms that a lot of these women have been experiencing as well. So I joined a Facebook group, the Breast Implant Illness Facebook group. I started following the Instagram. I went on the website. I started Googling. I started researching behind even Google, like going deeper. And just even sitting quietly in the background, reading these women's symptoms and their journeys of up to explanting and removing their breast implants, and even after, and watching some of their YouTube videos, I was blown away. I couldn't even believe what I was reading. Not because I couldn't believe what their symptoms were, but I couldn't believe that I finally found some people who were feeling and experiencing some of even the exact symptoms that I was, and explaining them in ways that you can only know yourself. Like, you can't even describe some of these feelings. So to just sit there and finally just even see, oh my gosh, like somebody else out there knows what I'm talking about, was really eye-opening to me. I did so much research that I ended up finding out that not only are saline and silicone implants not considered safe, that they can cause cancer. Some of these women in this group have cancer, unknown cancer, from their implants. There tends to be more shown with the textured ones than the smooth, but there's not to say that none of them are better than the others. You know, whenever I first started to read, I was like, oh, well, I got saline, so I'm all good. You know, it's just salt water. If anything happens, it's just salt water that'll go through my body. What I didn't realize and didn't know and soon found out was that the actual implant, the bag, is made out of silicone. It's made out of silicone. I did not know that. Like, I have to repeat that. I purposely chose a different implant because I didn't want silicone in my body, but yet I do. And then not only on top of that, all the issues that can come from saline implants of bacteria growing in or on them or around them. Any kind of like microbacteria that can grow around them can leak out into your body. So just because it's salt water doesn't mean that it's safe. As I'm reading along and finding out more information, an article came out from the New York Times stating that the FDA was currently investigating a certain manufacturer, which is called Mentor. I have Mentor implants. That is the manufacturer of my implants. I instantly freaked out and was absolutely horrified. So at that point, I instantly just started reaching out to women and girls in this Facebook group. I even talked to some of my friends that I know that had suggested me talking to a few people that they knew personally who have experienced this or have removed their breast implants or had been sick as well. And I've talked to, I think, about 5 or 6 different girls on the phone personally. Some of these girls were verbatim explaining their symptoms in the same way, same keywords that I was, that only you would know how to describe. And to everybody else that I was telling, you know, they were looking at me like I was crazy. But when they just were telling me their story and I was just listening to it and they're describing their symptoms and using those exact words, I just knew that this is it. This is what is happening to me. So after talking to these women, doing my research, no answers whatsoever in any other way. All my tests are coming back normal, borderline perfect, according to the doctors. I went and visited a surgeon and I made an appointment, and I am scheduled for, at the end of this month, to explant and remove my breast implants, which is called a in-block total capsulectomy. Not what I had planned for at all. There's nothing else, and I have no other choice at this point. All I care about is feeling good. I just want my wife back. Of course, have had this in the back of my head for a very long time, but I needed to knock out everything else first and to know in my heart that this was in fact it. I feel so relieved because I am able to get in with a good surgeon. I feel very good about Dr. Hubbard. It's crazy to think about. I don't even know. So I will be completely removing the implant as well as the scar tissue, the capsule that forms around it. And that is the best way to ensure that you will feel better or be on the right road to recovery. Because the scar tissue that builds around it can hold toxicities and bacteria or anything else that could be causing your issues. I'm gonna close this out because I feel I've shared enough. 9 years ago, I decided to get breast implants because that's what I wanted to do. I never expected that I would later be completely removing them or that they could potentially harm me or even make me sick. I regret nothing though. I wanted them because I wanted boobs, plain and simple. They served their purpose for the time and they've been great up until they've been making me sick. I was a big girl at that time, making my own decision to put them in. So I'm being a big girl now and doing the same to remove them. Again, I feel that I need to say that I am not here to try to convince you or anyone of anything. I'm not trying to tell other girls who have implants that you're going to get sick or that you should never even get implants to begin with. I'm only informing you of what I've been going through. I'm just sharing my story and I'm just raising awareness. I simply just want my wife back, and I know that this is what I need to do to feel better. So guys, thank you again so much for hearing me out, listening to everything that's been going on. Again, thank you so much for checking in on me, all the continued support. I promise to keep you as updated as I possibly can through the rest of my journey, because I know that it's not over, and just because I'm deciding to do this doesn't mean everything's just gonna poof, disappear. I wish it would, but I don't think it will. So I will give you guys as much information as I can. I'm going to just put some links here down in the description box of things that I've looked up and researched, and even the tests that I did do before I just decided that this was going to be it in my answer. Because I do think that it's very important that if you do have these issues or symptoms, don't just jump to a conclusion. You need to first go through a checklist and make sure that you are okay, just like I did. I refused to just say it was one thing. I really wanted to have a more definite answer. So I will put all that down here. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I will keep you posted as much as I possibly can.